still, I feel like he's the best player in the team right now, and I think he can do much better than this, you know. And for him, if you're in a situation like this where team is not performing, not sure if you want to stick around or you want to find something better.
That's the thing.
Yeah, it's just a rough spot. If
It
anything
is.
for NiP, yeah. I think as well, if you compare these teams, fun fact, Blizzy, in the last 10 games, he's played 10 unique different heroes in the offlane. It's like pretty incredible. And then you
Very
look
versatile.
at very versatile. But then you look at NiP. Which player do you think has the versatility on Ninja Zone pajamas?
Wait,
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz, I would say...
I would say Misha, probably.
Misha as well,
Okay,
actually.
okay. It's actually, no, it's Charlie.
The most versatility on the carry.
Yeah, so he played the first series, he played 3 Void games, and then since then, he's played 10 unique heroes in 13 games. So that's, if before, like, no more like, let's like, slow down the bashing on NiP a little bit, but I think maybe they need to try and ground out their carry, because if you compare that to Cyber Legacy, they've only played like 6 different carries, for example. They're focusing their win condition and enabling it that way.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, being versatile is good. If you
Yes.
talk about, let's say, teams like Team Secret, they're doing great. Playing multiple heroes is never going to hurt you. But if you can't find your identity, if you don't know what you're playing, then that's a huge problem. Or maybe they're just trying out too many stuff.
What is happening here? We have the draft, by the way. The first 4 picks are already there for Ninjas in Pajamas, and I have yet to decide what this is. They're both trying to draw a hero.
I
The
believe
Sven
that's
IO combo.
Sven,
yeah.
yeah. They're
Oh,
good.
yeah. Oh, that's
or
not
maybe
bad.
we're good at.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Yes.
why does Io have a... What do you call that?
Little quiff, little hair flick.
The little hair flick.
But okay, let's try and use
Oh, wait,
the,
no,
That's
that's his
tether.
tether.
Yeah.
the analysis they're trying to provide right now. What they're trying to say is that NiP have they've got some synergy. They found an actual combo they're going to play around, and I actually do like NiP's draft right now. I think a lot of the issues NiP coming into this series or any series, they lacked identity, right? That's kind of what we're touching on. So for now, when we look at this lineup, they have nice combos. You know, this Furion could easily be mid or offlane. They have a nice aggression, and it's a Charlie hero. It's a comfort Sven for them. So yeah, I'm actually, this is not too bad for NiP right now.
In this kind of a game, your clockwork needs to explode. Like, he needs to be super aggressive, setting things up for relocates coming out from IO, Nature's Prophet with the TP. This is a lineup that, you know, can bring 4 people with just 1 hero showing, and 3 seconds after, you're gonna have a full team there. The way you counter that, Mag is a great example. They're still drawing on that board. They're not satisfied with the drawing.
Is Lizard drawing Sven, or is that a
Bigger sword.
self-portrait?
That's nice. Oh, that's a
What
very
is
large
that?
sword.
What is that?
It's like a scythe.
Yeah, but it's on both sides.
Oh, Carl coming in with the additions real quick.
Alright, admin coming in. Yep.
Oh, no
putting it back
scythe.
on track.
No
We got-
sword allowed.
No.
This is their last chance. I just heard a word from Kyle. Messaged me saying they're getting fired if they don't get it correctly from this.
For Cyber Legacy, though, I think Lacoste touched on it really well about the mobility of NiP's lineup. That can punish. If you waste Doom, that global potential just move across the map. Same with the Magnus as well. And yeah, these guys have somewhat given up on their attempt of drawing. Yeah, Lizard just got worked by Tsunami.
Yeah, Lizard, as his Dota career, also not the greatest, but here he's showing some weaknesses as well.
Built around
just
his
getting
looks,
completely
yeah.
outplayed.
Will we see NiP get outplayed, or will we see Cyber Legacy get outplayed? So far, who are you favouring?
I like Wisp as a response to Doom, where you can relocate that one target out. You need to have a good disengagement. But when you're having a Grimstroke, the double Doom, one of those Dooms is going to be on IO. Like, they're going to be close together, so Grimstroke ulti will be connecting most likely to IO +1, and that's going to be Sven. So here it's not going to be able to just bail him out, which I really like.
And I think as well with the Furion, I realised it. I don't actually like playing Furion into the Magnus, because, you know, it's easy wave clear from the Magnus. You always can just outscale. Furion doesn't really like playing into like high item heroes, so we'll see how NiP kind of clean out their draft. They do have last pick overall, hence why this kind of Furion flex is pretty cool, but depends what they're doing, because I'm guessing this will just be a Doom mid. They're looking to pick up their carry right now, and they just go for a Spectre. And now, if I'm Cyber Legacy, I feel really confident with this lineup.
Yeah.
Because you can enable your Spectre with the Empower. You've got so much team fight, and this lineup from NiP, it's mobile, but if they ever kind of outplay themselves, move to the wrong area of the map, they're just going to get completely out-team fighted, I believe. Like, sure, you have the sustain, but where's the damage you're bringing to a fight? It's a lot of, like, movement you have.
Yeah, they have damage issues. They're relying so much on Sven to do stuff, and they have global presence. One of the best heroes you can counter that with is Spectre. You know, she can just show up into a fight. They can set things up with the mag. I think this lineup that Cyber Legacy has is extremely strong.
I guess Ember might be the play for NiP. Just try and fully outpace your opponent. I don't think it's banned. No, it's not banned yet. I think Ember might be their go-to.
Would it be fair to say that in the lineups that we have so far, obviously not having the 5th pick yet on the side of Ninjas in Pajamas, but is it fair to say that Cyber Legacy have a more relaxed draft? They're allowed to make a couple of mistakes, while Ninjas in Pajamas, they have to execute without making any mistakes at the moment.
Sure. Like, think about just the high ground defense. I think that's the easiest way to ever look at it. In Cyber Legacy, they have 3 or 4 heroes that can all defend tier 3s really easily. You've got Spectre, Dagger, Fade Bolt, Stroke of Fate, and then Shockwave. So yeah, I think Cyber Legacy, even if they get behind in the early game, they'll eventually be able to come back. They have the win condition, right? That's what we're saying in their draft.
Even though they're playing against the Furion, so lanes will naturally be pushed. On side of NiP, they still have great heroes of dealing with it. They have
Nice. That's
a lot of wave clear coming out from Grimstroke, Rubik, and Viper.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think this is actually, for all the drafts we've seen so far from NiP, this is the first draft that is like, it feels nice to look at, and is actually, I'm confident that this is the type of lineup that can outpace the greediness from Cyber Legacy. So
this is the lineup that does not rely on any cooldowns besides Sven ulti. I would still favor Cyber Legacy's lineup, and I've been really impressed the way they've been playing in the last few days.
EGB also is favoring Cyber Legacy's lineup a little bit there. It's a fairly close odds though. I'm very excited to find out how this series is gonna go down, because this is basically the top of Divine versus the bottom of Immortal, and we don't really know how close those two are against with each other, right? The series could prove a lot regarding how good.
Yeah. I'd argue from the drawing that we see here that the bottom of Immortal and the top of Divine are pretty even, and I think these Divine teams, they have a bit more drive in them to actually try and push through. You know, NiP on the other hand, they've just been smacked down left and right, so I don't think they have the motivation, but I think that Divine team, they've got a lot more to prove here.
Cyber Legacy coming with the confidence in this one. They did not lose a single series, and I still feel like in this matchup they can keep up. You know, just go with another win. They have the draft for it. The draft is good at every single stage of the game. Scales very well, especially with the Spectre and the Mag. And I'm pretty confident that they're going to take this one.
But if NiP can play well, if they can, you know, forget their past, close out the map, fight before Spectre BKB, I could see them maybe doing it, but I think, I'm still Cyber Legacy favored here.
So a lot of pressure here on Ninjas in Pajamas, and if they can actually prove that they deserve that Immortal invite, right? That's what it's coming down to here in the first game of the series. Cyber Legacy undefeated as of yet. Any final words before we head in? What are you going to look at?
I'm just glad that NiP didn't go with some wonky drafts, getting like Jug and Morphling on the mid lane, and they no stuns. This draft feels much better than what I saw them yesterday, so hoping for a closer match, I would say.
A closer matchup. Let's find out if we're going to get that with our commentary team of ODPixel and Fogged.
Thank you very much.
Ninjas in Pajamas. Cyber Legacy. Let the battle begin!
Yes, hello ladies and gentlemen, Ninjas in Pajamas, ready to go up against Cyber Legacy. I'm ODPixel, joined by Fog. We just seen the drafts. What do you reckon, Fog? We're getting one side coming out with the old Doom Grimstroke. They got the Spectre coming in as that big old carry to end things up on Cyber Legacy. NiP, they're coming in themselves with some pretty solid picks and solid counters. Viper, the last hero coming out from them. Of course, the big old answer to that Spectre, at least until she gets a BKB online.
Yeah, I think that was the only thing that I actually saw for NiP's draft to bring it all together, to be able to deal if they want to actually be able to fight in mid game and just be able to take control. So yeah, I do like that they did finish up with that one though, but I do have to agree with both T as well as Lacoste. It looks real strong coming out from Cyber Legacy, and like they said, undefeated. So these guys are coming in straight with confidence. And
that's literally not dropping a single game, right?
I do believe so, yes. Yeah. So they've been super hot, and I mean, look at the names on this team too. Like these guys
big names.
There are some really big names. Kuman, he's probably like the one with like the smallest of a name, but everyone knows him. He's this excellent farmer. So he's surrounded by like just such a well-rounded lineup that from what I've seen a lot of these games go, whoever has like this king late game, a lot of times it puts so much pressure on the other team to just not make mistakes. And I've seen a lot of those times the team does make mistakes. And I'm looking at Spectre, like Doom, Magnus. It's a team you do not want to make those mistakes versus.
And bottom lane, we'll see Saberlight taking a bit of a poke here from Kuman.
There's another stroke in a second.
Actually,
he might die.
He's stuck around for another CS. He didn't run. He did not run, and that's going to cost him first blood. As now Slayer, Era's trying to find him here with the battery assault, but the creep's taking a fair few hits of it, and Era, he's not actually going to be able to finish off the kill on Slayer.
Now he's getting turned on. Ooh,
the stroke will miss. But a Grimstroke able to survive there, and Kuman able to continue on farming nice and easily on this bottom lane.
Not what you ever want to have happen with a lane dominator like Nature's Prophet. You just lost the lane to a Spectre. Straight up, right? Just like that. Now you're not going to be able to put nearly as much pressure on him. They're already going to be level 2, level 3. They can kill him immediately again as soon as they get enough mana.
Looking at these other lanes, top lane, NiP. We're going to try and get in onto Bignum. 2 of them, quick telekinesis to hold them back, and that'll stop the chase.
Much harder for them to ever get any kills up here on the side of NiP. Doom and Rubik, very likely that they will not ever go down up here unless Bignum steps very far aggressively out of position. So yeah, I'm really liking the lane setups. I think the only one that can be a little bit problematic is Magical in the mid lane versus the Viper, when Viper starts to get that level 3.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes down, because you get level 3, you're going to be able to force the Magnus back, but it's Magnus,
he just goes jungle.
Magical, he's going to be able to farm.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm loving the way that the lane setups are. They're the obvious lanes, but it's going to work really well versus what NiP has.
Let's see. So far in that mid lane, 9 for 4, 8 for 3. So keeping it even, yet to get to the point where Supreme's really been able to bully Magical. But now there's the level 3s on Supreme. We'll see how much harass he can apply onto Magical and how much Magical can get away with getting from this matchup.
I think this bottom lane is actually this is a huge problem that Saberlight died like that. I'm pretty sure now they can't pressure at all. And
but when does this lane get better for NiP in this 2v2 situation now?
It doesn't.
No.
You have to hit level 6 pretty much on Nature's Prophet for it to get better. Like you're not a good matchup versus Spectre, period. And now Grimstroke is enabled to soon get like level 3s online before your Clockwork is tanky at all too. And they're fully sustained. Like this is a lane where you want both heroes like Spectre and Grimstroke to be low so that Clockwork can come in and catch the Grimstroke. That's never going to happen again now because of that start.
Yeah.
Unless they really misplay the lane with just over aggression.
Yeah, if we start seeing Kuman getting in, taking tower hits, but I mean, yeah, you're right. He's sitting at full HP, still got 5 tangos in the inventory to rely on. So this is going to continue to be a free farming Spectre by the looks of it.
Which never proves to be a good thing for the opposing team. And he's also got boosted, he does have Empower as well too, like in the mid game. It's not going to be that often, but it's going to be potential.
Top lane, Bignum, he's able to snipe away Charlie's boots there.
Look at Era. That's supposed to be the opposite. Era's supposed to be the one pushing Slayer away, but Slayer's level 3. So if he commits level 2 Inkswell and he's just able to turn with the dagger, they can just kill this Clockwork. So he has to pull lane now.
I was going to say, what can Era achieve down here, right? He can't really do much to slow down these two now with the lane going this way.
Mm-hmm. He has to pull creeps, it feels like.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's just not going to have anything. Or roam, which is never a good feeling this early on, is this Clockwork. He's actually getting handled right now by Slayer on the Grimstroke. He got hit by an Inkswell, it looks like, or something. Yeah, there's big problem zone.
Saberlight, again, he's got to be careful there. Sometimes sticking around very low HP.
Yeah.
You get hit by one of the strokes and one of the daggers, you're gone.
Yeah, he's got to go back.
Yeah, he's got to refuel.
So free farm Spectre, no pressure going to be put on this hero at all. Doom also farming very well. Same thing for Magical in mid. He's actually doing just fine in the matchup.
He's farming. Well, it's coming to the point where you expect, Supreme is getting a lot of denies. He's being able to take away a fair few of the lane creeps, but Magical, of course, is going to be able to find other resources to get the farm.
Yep.
As long as he doesn't die in this lane, you've got to be careful as the Magnus not to try and take too much from the lane and end up giving your life away. Slayer is able to get in, grab that bouncy rune away. And we'll see him hold back Era here with the stunt.
Does he actually get both runes then? He does.
So I think that is the 3 out of the 4, right? Yes, it was. Slayer got 2, Bignum got 1.
Oh, maybe they can actually get him here.
They should have a chance of killing him here, Slayer.
Oh, nice Sprout. Oh, actually not blocking the whole way. Oh.
It's going to take him a bit more effort than initially hoped for. He's got a stick charge, but surely they get this kill. He's going to deny himself? Oh, Slayer. 2 bounty runes, a deny, and in a situation where you're having both of the heroes down bottom chasing him.
That was a pretty...
Slayer!
Era went for the play to go for their own safe bounty rune and left his own because of it. So, oh man, Slayer just outplaying them pretty hard here. Saberlight,
Slayer.
I think this is a good move here. I think he's recognizing like bottom lane is... It's over.
Just get
We're
some,
not pressuring.
yeah.
Get some early objective taking, get some towers so that we can invade and get onto the side of this Magnus who's going to be jungling. I think this is probably the best move he could have done after that messed up lane.
Opens up this area of the map that, you know, the Magnus ideally likes to swing between, right, going from the camps on either side of the mid lane and pushing back out the mid lane itself.
And this is important for Viper too because it opens up him to be able to roam and gank. In particular, gank the Spectre. And if he's not, in mid can be a bit scary when you're playing against Rubik Magnus. You're at risk of being pulled into tower from some skewers, so it's a little bit scary for Supreme. Wow, they're actually bringing everybody
bringing
here.
a lot of people over towards the mid lane. Blizzy comes in as well, just wanting to sort of send NiP a message, get them to back off.
Yep.
Down bottom, Kuman, what are we seeing? He's getting those early stats online, the double Wraith Bands, boots, going for the standard build, drums up next, and he is level 6, so that potential for the global movements will be there. We'll see what sort of build we're going to get out in the Sven this game. I mean, are you getting the Midas on the Sven? Yeah, it looks like Charlie, that's the plan.
I think you have to in this
Still
game.
Go for the Midas?
Yeah, I think you have to go for some boosting item, like Midas or Mask of Madness, either one of those. However, that's in the eyes of the beholder for the most part, that one, which people choose.
Awesome.
But he has to be able to stay matching the farm of the Spectre, even when he is moving around and getting aggressive.
And this is good. They get the very early tier 1 tower here, mid NiP. Continue to put that pressure back on. So 7 minutes in, the mid tower taken away. They can now start to invade this area of the map.
Yep, and they have a ward right on top of Magical.
We'll go straight away. For TP, and ooh, he's going to die in the fountain. Too much poison there on the Magnus, as they'll get the big kill as well. I mean, that's sort of the ideal situation there, right? You take the tower, you move in, you kill off the mid. Down bottom, Aaron Saberlight making another quick play, looking over towards Slayer. Is able to manage to step back there with the X-Well stun. Supreme swinging over, so NiP just continuing to have this early pressure, looking to take these tier 1s away.
Oh, they're still going in for him because Viper's down here. Slayer is only level 3 still, but he will be able to just get the TP out now. Looks like they're banning that bottom side there. But yeah, he's still only level 3 on that Grimstroke after he was a full level advantage over Era. Era's actually recovered.
Yeah, he's picking it up now. NiP's starting to make some nice early moves. 2k lead here for NiP.
Yeah, very ideal moves to salvage a little bit of the disaster that happened bottom at the first 4 minutes. Saberlight definitely recovering. And now they can fight, right? There's a Wrath of Nature. Viper's got ulti too. They're starting to get their levels on the clockwork as you see Era's taking mid, and there's that move up top.
See what they can get done here, Blizzy. Yeah, he goes down. NiP sees an opportunity.
Double ults. Yep.
So there's well, Charlie has got the Midas done, so a very quick Midas on the Sven. This is going to keep his farm in a very good place.
Has to Midas the small creep there, though. It doesn't quite make it there for the big one. But now Kuman is in a bit of a weird spot. He's just going to run away.
That's another tower.
Great moves.
They're moving in a way that Cyber Legacy aren't quite ready to turn up and defend against these early tower pushes.
Yep, and they've got those deep aggressive wards because they took that mid tower, even though I think they had at least one of them down there beforehand, so they can see a lot of the movement, see those heroes that would likely defend the tower, which would be the Grimstroke, the Rubik, and the Magnus. Those are the, outspam heroes. So playing around them perfectly and gaining their lead. 3k already here for NiP.
Yeah, these two cores are going to be quite the nightmare for even the Spectre in these early fights.
Yeah, and Saberlight's playing hyper aggressive here, always playing around the Viper. That's the key thing right now. They're letting Era catch up, get his level 6, so then he can start making moves around by himself with the rotation from the Prophet. But yeah, Prophet with Viper can always be very strong right now.
And a nice big Ancient stack here, I believe, maybe even coming up to a quad stack. Being prepped here for Charlie to come and clean up.
Oh man! Those are beautiful.
That's a lot of money here for an already very fat early game spend. Charlie 4,800 net worth at 10 minutes in. He's clearing this up.
Oh baby!
This is going to be a very strong Sven.
All right. And they're going to try to contest, but Clockwork is now level 6, so he can just act as that block, and they can't get through him. Those stacks are gone.
Yeah,
and they have to just watch with their Ops ward while it all just gets taken.
Yeah, you can see it now, just a very early lead in farm. Like Charlie, his game has been explosive so far. The S&Y coming out after the Mask of Madness. This Sven, when he's in a position to fight, it's going to be hard for Cyber Legacy to deal with him this early on.
They're starting to get those level 6s, though, also on Cyber Legacy. We see Doom, Grimstroke. They do now have their 6s. So there is potential for them to fight back on those towers. But right now, they are just kind of dodging. They are just playing the farm game.
See NiP. Got the 3 of them up here. Era starting to head in. Not quite with anyone else
he needs the
right
Viper.
around him. Yeah, they've got to come in and bring an extra backup if Era's going to look for this, and he is going to find it. He's in, managed to find the catch on Akuma. Kuman's going to jump out with the horn straight down to the bottom lane. Saberlight's there alone, so an easy target for Kuman to leave that top area and head over towards. Saberlight, he's just dead here. Oh, maybe not.
He should be okay.
I was going to say, he left his TP to the last moment. But he did the maths. He's fine. Tower's gone, and he's out before Kuman could quite get the kill.
That was risky of him to stay for.
He was dead a long time.
He didn't see Grimstroke on the map. He didn't see Rubik on the map at all, and he just stuck his ground. So had some confidence there, and doesn't get punished for it.
Yeah,
so,
paid off.
NiP making pretty much all the right moves. It's a very quiet game. I feel like this is the lowest kills we've had in this entire tournament.
I think you might be right there. 12 minutes in, just 1 to 2.
Boring.
Very. Oh, use your Midas. Oh, there we go. Thank you. I was just making sure he got the stack.
He's off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, this has got to be one of the most farm spends here. At this early stage of the game, 12 minutes in to have the farm that Charlie has. This is the dream. You know, we see early Midases, we see games where Sven gets some very nicely prepped early ancient stacks, but this game it's had both of them for Charlie.
Look at Misha drawing all over the map. I mean, he's definitely being incredibly vocal for his team right now. Era finds a good grab, and with Saberlight.
Oh! Okay, he goes for the RP to try and save himself, and may it do so. The ref's coming in. Is there any vision on the Magnus? There isn't. Now the Soulbind comes out, the Doom as well. They've both been muted. Blizzy looking for the turnaround, and with the Ink Swirl stun, they'll get Saberlight. Looks like the clock will fall as well. Can Supreme get the deny? He's not going to be able to do as the jump from the Fade Bolt. Big Num finishes him off. So a bit of a kickback there from Cyber Legacy. They are able to find 2 there with the double Doom combo.
It's expensive, though. It requires both of those ultis to come into play there. As well, Magnus, you had to use the RP to just survive, and they didn't have the Spectre to come in to get the cleanup. That's the big thing, right? He had to use the Haunt to survive earlier, so he's not able to get those cleanup gold, cleanup experience. And during all of it, we see bottom, Charlie.
And he's going to have the S&Y. It's done.
He's got S&Y Midas.
S&Y Midas 13 minutes in.
Oh, boy.
Oh, my goodness.
Are they going to have the damage to deal with this, man? It's not seeming like it. They're going to really need to throw everything onto him with a Doom. It's Kuman. He has the backup of Big Num now. Oh, yeah, Treants. Look at them go.
They won't continue to chase, but you're right now. Big Num's got to get his micro going. Some Treant on Treant action here.
Not the ideal spell to steal, but can work.
It's Magic. Magical's trying to come over, but NiP are in a position that's going to make it up. Oh!
I think he was going to get skewered into the towers there if he did
probably better that he didn't get himself in on the Magnus there. You know, given the benefit of the doubt, maybe he intentionally missed it.
Yep.
But yeah, nothing to happen there. Nothing to be seen there.
NiP though, I think they're playing super well about just like pacing, speed. We talk about that a lot, I feel like recently especially. Oh. And when you're playing versus long ulti cooldowns,
comes
play
in,
fast.
Saberlight. He's going to have some backup though. Tries to get off the ult in time, won't be able to do so. Charlie, Misha, and Supreme turning over towards Blizzy. Charlie's going to look straight towards the Spectre.
He's going to TP out.
Chasing Kuman. Is there any TP cancel? There isn't. Supreme will be able to finish off Blizzy.
Okay.
4-4. The kill's starting to amp up a little bit, but still a bit of slow pace back and forth. And yes, we don't have... Oh, we do now.
Oh, I was going to say, it sounds very awkward without game sounds right now. Just listening to your sultry voice, Owen.
I don't know if you... Beautiful viewers at home did lose the audio, but it's back now. And if you didn't, then we just sound like idiots. Mm-hmm. And if you did, we probably still sound like idiots, because that's what we do.
Yep.
15 minutes in, bounty runes up. Looks like it would just be the 2 for 2 here. Mm-hmm. Still this 3k lead. I mean, it's a lot of farming the Spectre's going to need to do to be sort of the big bad beast that's going to be able to take on this Sven.
But this is kind of how you'd anticipate it to be going, right? When you look at their draft, look at how greedy it really
Sven
is,
gets
right?
He's going to get the early boost in farm this game.
He should be able to keep up this farm, stay pretty far ahead because of what he's playing against. Like, they have Doom cooldown Spectre cooldown on Haunt, Magnus cooldown on RP, even Grimstroke. Like every single one of them does require a bit more to be able to actually take team fights. When NiP, like Panel mentioned, right, the only things they really have to rely around and fighting around is like God strength for the majority. Sure, like Wrath of Nature and stuff like that, but for the majority, it really just is God strength. They're ready to fight for the majority of this game. But you can see also, like, Cyber Legacy doesn't feel pressured. From the way that they're playing, they're not forcing much. They're just trying to, like, sit back, let Spectre farm. They get that little, you know, extension top where they do lose their Doom, but they get Kuman enabled. So they're willing to throw away a life or two if the Spectre gets some big farm out of it.
Yeah, Scout from Radiant will catch the two of them trying for that smoke play mid.
Already have the Doom blink, too, so... They can definitely look to fight. It's much easier for you to land the double combo with the Grimstroke. You can always have that follow-up.
I'm still trying to find something with the Smoke Arrow and Supreme, but there's a lot of members around.
They always have the relocate, though, so they always got a +2.
That's true.
And they got the Profit, so they always have a +3.
This is, you're right, it's a pseudo 5-man smoke gank.
Just have to be careful how they approach it. Because if Cyber Legacy has the vision, they can just set up to bait the relocate, and then they can double soulbind the relocate that comes in and get that Doom off. Because they do have a lot of different ultis to expend, right? You can RP one side and then double Doom the other two that do come in. So it can definitely be hard.
Well, still, I mean, they just need so much time to catch up on the farm here. We're getting to the point where Charlie's nearly doubling that of Kuman and of Magical. I mean, is this Kuman and Magical farming slowly, or is Charlie just really farming that fast? When you look at the numbers,
that fast.
It's just that fast. Like, these aren't bad net worths on the other heroes at sort of 17-minute mark at a low kill game?
No, I don't think so at all.
It's just Charlie just that farm.
When you just do the math on it, he's over 600 gold per minute right now, right? So it's very high. You usually only see people get to like 500-ish.
A neat little stolen sprout trying to slow him down, but won't stop Bignum from going down.
NiP, they're playing fast.
They are, 6k lead.
I mean, Charlie, 220 last is like we said, he's...
Yeah, that's insane.
When it hits 20-minute mark, right, and he has 12,000 net worth, that's 600 GPM. So he's over that 600 GPM point by a good margin here. So yeah, like, you know, Doom's not matching that with Devour. You know he's farming really well.
Yeah, it just seems like a solid game plan for NiP so far.
Yeah, it's working.
So the panel said, right, this is a draft that they prefer much more compared to some of the other things that we've seen NiP try in the Immortal League.
Yeah.
Now, this game, it's very much make sure that get Charlie a good lane, get him a Midas, make Ancient stacks, and boom, now we're incredibly strong. These heroes can just run around the map, be there for global backup if Era is able to find something, or Supreme is able to find a way to start things off.
I just like seeing Supreme playing active heroes. Like when he was playing his Morphling and stuff like that, it's just like they can't make any plays around it. Like Supreme's the guy that goes around and actually makes stuff happen. So when he's playing Viper, that's all he has to do. Just walk to lanes and just force a fight. So 6k lead. Still just feel like Cyber Legacy, they're just chilling and farming.
They're chilling along. I mean, that's the thing, right? It's still coming up to 19 minutes. It's only 4-6. So sure, you're still seeing this very large lead in net worth for NiP, but we're yet to really see the effect of that in the full 5v5, and if Cyber Legacy are still going to have ways to play around this Fat Sven, catch off heroes with the double Doom. Of course, they have got that great team fight with the RP and the Haunt. So it's very much, you know, NiP, they've got this lead. Let's see how they put it into practice when it comes down to the battles.
Yep. And here we go. The IO plus the Viper is showing. The hook shot. It's on Slayer.
And it should get this kill.
Relocate bottom as well as the TP. The RP.
It's going to catch the two of them. They got the Doom down as well onto Supreme.
And Cyber Legacy. They don't catch him, though. He gets the TP out.
I mean, Slayer does go down to Era, but yeah, we see there Cyber Legacy, despite being down on gold, they can still hit very hard. They've got some solid just kill spells, right? RP, Doom, not a lot you're going to be able to do about that. Throwing and that was without the Grimstroke's involvement. You know, next time around, if Slayer is in that fight, it's going to be even easier for Cyber Legacy to just drop these ults, get kills.
Now is NiP's time to shine, though. Everything was committed, so they got to just make some moves happen.
There we go.
It's going to be big.
Yeah, Bignum's an easy one. Can they find Blizzy as well? The Sprout's out. Blizzy, it's Quelling Blade. It's on cooldown. So he'll fall.
I mean, Charlie's just getting handed a pretty free game
he
right
could
now.
just kill whoever he wants as this Sven.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially when the ults are unavailable. If the ults are on cooldown, there's nothing that Charlie needs to worry about. He can just go running at heroes with how farmed he is right now.
See what they try to do to take advantage of those cooldowns. They're actually going to threaten a Roche here. And
I think they get away with it.
They don't have anything.
They don't have the ults.
It's going to work.
He's going to do this super quick.
Charlie's got a Satanic.
Yeah, 20 minutes Satanic.
SNY Satanic, yeah, 20 minutes with a minus. Pretty good. What was Matumba? Matumba Man had some crazy timing, right?
Matsu got a 19-minute Satanic, which was indeed a... I think it was the... I think the specific stat was that it was the fastest on Sven. It was like the 6th fastest on any hero.
Yeah.
So this one, 20...
Charlie's match.
20 minutes. This is coming in not as fast, but definitely up there. This is also an incredibly fast timing.
Oh, they're actually looking for Kuman here at this relocate. That's... Without the Viper leading, I think it's very difficult for you guys to ever set up on that guy. So they will just push the lane out at least and best be able to return back to mid.
I mean, and do you think in this sort of situation, if you're Cyber Legacy, you're looking at this Sven and you're like, my goodness, you know, what are we going to do? Or you're like, well, we can hold on, we can push lanes out.
I think it's definitely a bit of a scare, right?
Yeah,
because he's getting enabled by his whole team. Like, look at Saberlight's build, too. Going Solar Crest, going Vlad's Drum, everything to just make Charlie as strong as possible. Definitely a concern, but they still probably are thinking, we do have tools to control him. We're just worried for Kuman because he's versus a Viper. Like, Kuman shows up, he gets broken, he's just going to be pretty useless in most of the situations. I think that's why they're just stalling and stalling and stalling.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would imagine because of that straight-up counter as well, the Viper's the Doom target in these team fights, right?
Yeah,
you're just looking to get on top of Supreme so that there isn't that control and that break mechanic to throw down on the Spectre.
All depends on how they get the Grimstroke connection. If they get like an ideal one on both of the, the IO, it might just hit the IO on the Sven, it might catch the Sven and the Viper based on positioning, but this is a good push here.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of come at me. You know, what are they going to do?
Yep.
What are they going to do to stop this push? Charlie with the God Strength?
Just need to not get skewered under tier 4s with your Aegis on Viper. Like, that's probably the biggest thing that can lose it for them, is if one of these two heroes gets skewered into a very bad position.
Kuman?
Oh, Kuman?
Hey, he's just going to start dying.
Oh my god.
Pots the Manto, will be able to get away, but Era actually able to find the chase. He's in the Nature's Wrath, comes crashing through from Saberlight. And that's Kuman dead. As NiP, they'll continue to push on. They've got another wave coming in. This will be an easy top racks for them. As this is the problem against the Viper. You just spend a moment broken, and that's all it takes. Charlie gets a few hits in with the God Strength. You're down to 25% HP.
Feeling rough for Cyber Legacy for sure right now. Yeah, it seems like that's what it feels like, right? It feels like they're just stalling so that the Spectre can get online eventually versus this Viper, but it's starting to feel like he's never going to be that point.
Yeah, I mean, this fan's just so ridiculously far ahead this game,
level
Charlie.
18 as well.
He's just got so much farm.
And they just don't stop, right? They're not ready to fight, so just keep running at them.
Yeah. Just go high ground again.
Yeah, go high ground again, for sure.
Oh. I'm sure he will be back momentarily.
He's definitely feeling very confident right now.
Yeah, this game is it's sort of just played out the way they wanted right now. It's not had a lot of action. It hasn't needed it for them. They've just managed to make sure that Charlie has been able to farm up every single living being on the map. 297 CS here at 23 minutes in, 2-0-2. It's just been a dream Sven farming game for him.
I mean, the thing is, like, Saberlight made that one bit mistake in the laning phase, but since then, he hasn't really made any.
No, good tower play.
He did exactly what he needed to do, is go for the towers around Viper. Viper's already mid, takes mid tower, they go bottom, take bottom tower, go top, constrict the map, and then Spectre doesn't have great places to farm, and she needs a BKB in this game. Otherwise, she just can never get involved. So she's still quite away from that one. The rest of his cores are still farming pretty well, but that's all they've been doing. It's just farming.
And because it's just a question as well. We saw on that last defense, it started with Kuman being on the front.
Yeah.
I mean, who does go out on the front here if you are Cyber Legacy, right? Because I imagine this Magnus and the Doom, you're both looking to try and get the big jumps in to make sure you have a big impact with your Dooms, with your RPs. You don't really want to be the one that they go on, right? Or do you kind of have to be? Because if you're letting the Spectre do that, Kuman is just going to die.
I don't think anybody should with the way that their lineup is built, though. They have Rubik, they have Grimstroke, they have Magnus. They have triple nukes in order to clear those waves. So you're just purely
waiting for like
an overextension or a skewer.
Opportunities.
Exactly, yeah. Because Rubik can also cast a lift from pretty far away.
No one should go up and hit the creeps.
No, I think it's way too risky. You can pull the creeps back, but I think walking up is just too risky. You have amazing clear, so you just have to utilize it. Okay, this is the big play. They've got the smoke, the BKB's on Doom. Spectre's still kind of weak, but let's see.
Oh, they're going to try for it. They've got the Soulbind in on the two of them. Blizzy comes in. Doom's going to be dropped down onto the Sven. Misha trying to take him out to the side.
The RP!
Oh, he took him out straight into the RP. Magical was waiting for them there. The Sven goes down.
They didn't give him Aegis. It was on Supreme.
Oh, damn. They prepared for that perfectly. Magical was more than ready as soon as he saw where the IO would be heading. And that whole push has just come down in a huge crash. There'll be a buyback from Misha. He's going to TP across. Arrow will turn with a hook shot onto Blizzy and Kuman as they'll now look to run. Blizzy will be left behind. He'll go down. Can Kuman get his way out? He's got the Manta. Daggers away. I mean, they hold there and I mean, they did exactly what we're talking about there this time around. They got the jump.
Yeah.
You know, they were patient. They got in. They didn't quite get the double doom at the start, but it didn't matter, right? They still get the Sven. They forced Misha to make a quick play. Tried to go for that cute play, just taking the Sven to the side so he could stick in the fight, but it was just a little too close. Magical was already in position to get the two of them.
And what broke the Soulbind connected and then it just broke?
Something broke it. What broke it?
Something broke it. I'm not sure.
We might be able to catch a replay of that.
Yeah, I didn't actually get to see because I thought Saberlight was getting doomed as
But
well.
something definitely broke it.
Something broke it.
Because it only got the Sven.
Magical. We'll get punished trying to go, I mean, getting a bounty run, but definitely not worth it.
I mean, what can break it in Dota?
Not a lot of things. Like can you even like skewer break them out of it or lift them, throw them out of it or something like that? Like the distance? I didn't get to see which one it was. It just looked weird.
It did
the way it
look
happened.
peculiar, yeah.
But either way,
I think maybe it was a skewer. I think because Magical was in that position, mate, I think he might have skewered over there. Well, I don't know. Was it? Anyway, back on that push. Of course, NiP, after getting hit hard on that initial push, now there's not the ult.
Go back,
so you go back in, there's no ults to threaten you this time, so you're going to have a solid chance of taking down the second set of racks.
They have to force
in.
the issue, yeah. With their draft, they just have to keep forcing
Just keep going. I mean, there's no need to back.
Yep.
Just keep going. Charlie straight down bottom.
No RP, no worries.
Blizzy trying to slow things down. Has to be careful. His doom's up in 20 seconds.
Oh, God, the Grove Bow, Viper. The pain on Blizzy.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get this rack about this. Kuman's trying to TP back.
They got to try something. It's your last effort here for
Arrow's going straight onto Slayer. The Soulbind's down on Charlie, but they're keeping their distance. Blizzy steps forward. He starts to beat into Charlie. He's got to be careful. Kuman's looking over towards Arrow. Blizzy, he's been trapped in the Sprout. Doom's back online, but he can't get it out in time. He's dead. That's 3 dead without buyback. It's GG as NiP will secure this game 1. 17k lead here. 18-8 at 26 minutes as they clear up every single set of racks. A dream game for the Sven, set up very nicely by NiP, a solid draft, and they really made things work.